The screen returned to Meliphilia asking Aiden's final words. You have come here as a soul full of resentment. By then, in what form do you plan to return to your hometown? As a human? Or perhaps as a ghost? Aiden responded to her like this. It seems even gods are not all-knowing and all-powerful, because you have not experienced death. For those who have died before, all I ask for is peace in death. As long as I can close my eyes peacefully, and not be tormented by anyone or anything, I can be human or ghost. A gust of wind blew open the window of Warden's office, along with Aiden's notes being blown open as well, only to see that it was densely covered with names written on it. Inside the names, there was Captain Rozon who put Ant Queen in prison. Inside the names, there was City Silver Financial Chief Doug who withheld prison funds. Inside the names, there is Sir Emerald, the mastermind behind this riot, and any ants attempting to resist the new order. The dice representing fate roll once again. Meliphilia, who is in the dungeon, smiled. The brighter the light, the deeper the shadow. At this time, the residents of City Silver discovered something eerie, only to see that terrifying dark clouds began to loom over Rose Prison. And the person leading the dark clouds covering the entire City Silver is Warden Aiden. In fact, Warden Aiden used to treat this world as a game before today. And his help to Werewolf and Kim is just to make up for regrets from the previous life. Meliphilia asked him if he is a human or a ghost. In fact, it is to remind him not to only care about his own regrets. Open your eyes and take a look, Aiden. Everything around you is real. The prison guards, who helped you to fight against the rioting inmates, are real. The ordinary people living under aristocratic oppression are also real. And the arrangement for the guards and traitors actually strengthened Aiden's resolve. If he really disregards the life and death of the guards, then he is just like in his past life, with no peace even in death. That is something Aiden cannot accept. It's also a turning point in the whole comic. Once, that only lowered its own sense of existence and was bullied worm. He will also sound the horn of counterattack against the mosquitoes. Don't forget to hit the like button in front of the screen, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. So young Warden Aiden was so handsome. It's no wonder that the wealthy and beautiful Succubus would be wholeheartedly in love with him. But what I never expected was that the once flamboyant Succubus, she turned out to be a virgin. Let's focus the camera on Aya and George first. At this moment, the two of them are a little confused, because the potatoes they just planted have unexpectedly sprouted. For a moment, Aya even thought she hadn't woken up. She was unaware. This is precisely Jalala's intrinsic divine power, as a wooden elf. She can use telekinetic spells to make plants grow rapidly. The scene shifts to the prison cafeteria. Today, the prisoners are eating happily because the head chef has developed a dish called potato braised chicken. Two prisoners in the corner chat with Succubus while eating potatoes. Why are you so obsessed with Aiden? The Succubus sitting across from them says it's because Aiden is too handsome. But even if he's handsome, you don't have to be so crazy. I even feel you're a bit perverted. At the mention of it, Succubus casually wiped her mouth. This is a long story. Everything needs to start from when we first met 4 years ago. At that time, I was still helping out at my family's international sanatorium. I was tasting my favorite novels at that moment. However, a man appeared and interrupted me. He came up and said, "Little girl, where is your mom?" Even though I was still a young Succubus at that time, I bravely told him that my mom had gone out to play cards. And I firmly told him that my mom does not entertain visitors. And this man was none other than the former Origin Aiden. He stated that I was not a visitor, but rather someone who came to crack down on vices. After saying this sentence, a large group of enforcers from the Heretical Judgment Bureau emerged. Afterwards, they searched the sanatorium and found a large number of unconscious male clients. Origin Aiden at the time was also secretly amazed. You guys are a bit too much. Taking other people's money is one thing, but taking other people's lives as well? You'd better come to the station with me first. As soon as the words fell, Young Succubus immediately hugged her favorite book and started crying. At this time, an enforcer told Originaten that the Succubus family still holds a lot of influence in the Empire. If those who uphold Succubus creationism go to block the Capitol building, we will be in trouble. Originaten actually doesn't want to cause this trouble. Originaten could only helplessly pick up the lollipop that fell out of the young Succubus's mouth at the mention. He then gently inserted it back into the young Succubus's mouth. Originaten then hoisted her up. "That's it, little sister. Go back with me and record a statement, then you're off the hook." The young Succubus was furious. She cried and shouted, "You damn villain! Let me go right now, or I'll have my mom kill you!" But soon, the young Succubus calmed down. She slowly transitioned from resisting to enjoying. Until now, the Succubus still doesn't know what that feeling was. Perhaps at that moment, light took shape. At that time, Originaten carried the young Succubus through the long street. There was light everywhere, and the people who loved him. Later, he even personally opened the luxurious carriage door for the young Succubus. "Please come in, little sister. I feel like I have become somewhat bewildered. I even feel like I am being purified. I changed from an evil Succubus into a human saint protected by a knight." In that moment, I felt that light had a form. It was also the first time I understood what sacredness is beyond violation. He is like a white knight shining brightly with purity. Suddenly, the Succubus bit down fiercely on the lollipop in her mouth. From that moment on, I set a life goal for myself. This Succubus must ravage and defile him cruelly. My mind is constantly imagining that scene. Just like I press him firmly on the grass. The next scene is too graphic. If you want to know more, just ask me in the comments. Don't forget to hit the like button in front of the screen and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just as the Succubus fantasy diary was written to a climax, laughter suddenly came from the side. This directly interrupted the Succubus's spell casting. When she looked over there, she only then realized that it was Foxwitch Maddie laughing. "You stinky Foxwitch, what are you laughing at?" "Of course, I want to laugh. People like you who project erotic novels into reality are usually virgins, right?" When this was said, the Succubus felt thunderstruck. Her face turned red in an instant. "Do you believe I will sue you for slander?" Warden Aiden has officially launched a counterattack against the nobles. And his first target is the mastermind behind the prison riot, Oscar's son. But what he never expected was that Oscar's son would use a long-lost seduction technique on Aiden. Let's focus the camera on the Succubus first. After Maddie revealed that she was still a virgin, she freaked out. "What nonsense are you talking about? Do you believe I will sue you for defamation?" I didn't expect this sentence to make Maddie laugh. "You really make me laugh to death." A Succubus is actually fantasizing about others at the age of 18. I'm worried that you will still be fantasizing when you reach menopause. The Succubus was trembling with anger. She pointed at Maddie and angrily said, "How many men have you slept with? Come on, tell everyone." At this moment, the Succubus's good friend patted her. "Haven't you heard about her reputation? She is an unspeakable figure in the Empire of Seni. Legend has it that she captivated various warlords solely with her beautiful legs. She even caused discord among the royal families with just her eloquent speech. She can be said to have single-handedly caused the entire Empire of Seni to go to war. And this person, known as the female public enemy, is called the Master of Breakups. She is also the uncrowned Queen of Tinder, Foxwitch Maddie. Just hearing her title, Succubus, already makes it hard to resist. At this moment, she suddenly reached out towards Maddie's ankle. "Master, please save me. Teach me how to sleep with men." Maddie lowered her proud head and looked at her. Tuition is 998 gold, includes learning, association, and sleeping. Succubus didn't even think about it before agreeing. Soon she took out a full bag of gold. Maddie, who received the tuition fee, immediately started the class. "Do you know who your biggest rival is now?" This has really puzzled Succubus. In her eyes, There are indeed many people in prison lusting after Aiden's body. But in terms of compatibility, she believes no one is her rival, because the place Aiden visits most often is her cell. Maddie then asked in return, "What about that werewolf? Why would she come to the prison to be a guard? Can't you see it?" Succubus is very confident about this. In her eyes, the werewolf is just a fool. She believes her theoretical knowledge will surely defeat her. Maddie sighed helplessly at the words. No matter how good you think your relationship with Aiden is, when it comes to marriage, you will definitely lose without a doubt. Think about the positioning of that werewolf. Although her family background is not good, she is hardworking and ambitious. She is the model student that teachers like at school, and the class monitor who is admired by other students. She satisfies all the fantasies of the little boys, without exaggeration. The most important thing is that she possesses qualities that many men are attracted to. She is absolutely loyal to her loved one, and she is able to see through her partner's disappointments at a glance. She can also empathize with her partner's loneliness. She will also offer an umbrella when her loved one needs it the most. Finally, holding her partner's hand tightly to walk through the difficulties with strength. Why do you think you can compete with this kind of woman? Do you have anything besides playing with a vibrator every day that you can be proud of? Succubus in a hurry. I am especially rich. So you are very suitable to be a mistress used by men to make money. Upon hearing those words, the succubus collapsed and let out a desperate cry to the heavens. Oh God, does that mean I have no chance? Suddenly, she reached into her own chest. Then she threw out countless vibrators from inside. I swear in the name of the succubus queen, I will never play with vibrators again. At this moment, Maddie spoke again. Don't give up your hobbies for a man. Even though you can't normally win over Aiden, there are still abnormal methods, right? Dealing with men like Aiden with high moral standards, all you need to do is to turn raw rice into cooked rice. Once the child is born, even if he is unwilling, he will marry you. So what you need to do is to make a surprise attack. No matter what despicable means you use, make sure to get pregnant in one shot. Believe me, this is the only way you can defeat Aiden. I will help you create the opportunity at that time. Just then, a voice came from behind Maddie. It seems like you guys are having a good time here. The person speaking is none other than Snake Witch. At this moment, she is glaring fiercely at the succubus. The people nearby quickly started discussing upon seeing the situation. Ever since Maddie broke her seal, Snake Witch has been acting very strangely. The succubus sensed something was wrong. She quickly crawled away. Maddie, feeling unhappy, asked, "What's wrong?" "That's it. I just found a cat doing backflips in the warehouse next door. Do you want to come with me and take a look?" Upon hearing this, Maddie immediately shook her head to express refusal. The next second, she was all tied up by the Snake Witch's hair. "If you don't say anything, I'll take it as your agreement." Oh. The scene shifts to Emerald Pavilion. Warden Aiden arrived here without warning. The gatekeeper was frightened by this. "Please come inside, Lord Aiden. Lord Oscar's son is already waiting for you. I have to stay on guard and can't show you the way. But rest assured, there are staff inside who will guide you. They can also show you around the special features of the Emerald Pavilion." Aiden quickly opened the door of the Emerald Pavilion by himself. Just as he opened it, a young girl rushed into his arms. "Help me, distinguished guest." The tiger in the rainforest suddenly went mad. Warden Aiden and Oscar's son had their first negotiation. And his capable lieutenant, Flanda. She had almost been sent to the Emerald Pavilion before. You should know that the Emerald Pavilion is known as the top brothel, a paradise for men. Let's first send the picture to Aiden. As soon as he arrived at Emerald Pavilion, a girl threw herself into his arms. "Esteemed guest, please help me save the demo. The tiger in the rainforest has gone mad. It's really fierce and scary. Sir, please save me." Aiden responded to her with a ruthless elbow strike. Sigma, followed by Aiden, immediately pulled out a gun and aimed at the tiger. The girl playing the tiger was frightened and surrendered on the spot. And so the 2 men and 1 tiger stood in a stalemate. At this moment, the dark-skinned girl quickly explained to Aiden. In fact, this is a feature of our store. Through realistic interpretation and scene setup, we provide guests with an immersive experience. Most importantly, our Emerald Pavilion has 300 rooms like this. We guarantee that there will definitely be one that you will be satisfied with. At this moment, Aiden spoke up. I was invited to see Sir Oscar Sunday. Could you please tell me where he is now? Upon hearing this, the 2 stepped aside and cleared a path for Aiden. Sir Oscar's son just walked past this way. I believe he shouldn't have gone too far yet. Watching Aiden walk away, the 2 felt that he might have a difficult time meeting Oscar's son today. After all, the rooms behind were getting more and more exciting. Aiden quickly opened the second door. Inside lay a sweet and fair-skinned young girl. Sir, would you be willing to use your mouth to awaken the Snow Country princess, who has been asleep for 3 years? Sigma Aiden looked and threw him away. I don't want to. The third door is about a scene in the desert. Several girls, wearing bullhead masks, surrounded Aiden in a circle. The fourth door is the pure angels from heaven. The fifth door is filled with deadly temptations of the black silk succubus. Comment section tells me which door you want to enter. Sigma Aiden quickly opened the sixth door. However, this time he was greeted by a girl who was less than 30 centimeters tall. Aiden's face darkened slightly. He did not expect Emerald Pavilion to be so excessive. Just then, a waiter hurried over. I'm sorry, sir. This is not a private dining room, but a public restaurant. Aiden looked up and realized that indeed this place looks like a restaurant. He watched the mother and daughter leaving hand in hand. Aiden began his memories for a while. He thought of his unrecognizable daughter. At that moment, Oscar's son walked over with a tray. It seems that our Warden Aiden likes younger women. I have so many girls, but you didn't take a second look at any of them. It's only the young mother with a child that you stared at for so long. It's a pity. Retired staff from Emerald Pavilion do not serve customers. That's our rule. Facing his teasing, Aiden responded, Are you inviting me to Emerald Pavilion just to specifically investigate my sexual preferences? Of course not, my dear Lord Aiden. I came to see you to reconcile. I did assist Anthony quite a bit during the riot at Rose Prison. But that was not my intention. After all, if you want to drift in the rough sea of currents, you must ensure that your own boat won't capsize. Anthony is my boatman, so naturally, I must reassure him. But your boatman almost messed things up with City Silver. Your sincerity is too little. I'm afraid it will be difficult for me to explain to my prisoners and guards. At the words, Oscar's son smiled slightly. Lord Aiden, have you forgotten something? We are now even. 3 months ago, you secretly took away Flanda, who I had set my sights on. Until now, you haven't given me any explanation. It should be reasonable for me to symbolically express my attitude, right? 3 months ago was when current Aiden had just arrived. At that time, he had not fully adapted to this world yet. He was walking on the street feeling very lost. Aiden didn't know what year it was, or which country he was in. Just then, 2 horses suddenly appeared on the street. This is the convoy of the Emerald Pavilion. Everyone is prohibited from approaching or observing. This sentence confused Aiden at the time. He didn't understand what the Emerald Pavilion was. Fortunately, kind people around him told him. The Emerald Pavilion is a high-class brothel. It's a sacred place that every man must worship. It looks like they caught quite a few newcomers from the poor. I wonder if we will have a chance to experience it. After listening, Aiden remained silent for a while. Then, filled with a sense of justice, he pulled the reins of the carriage. Since you all address me as Lord Aiden, I demand that you release them now. The man in charge of escorting became anxious at the words. Lord Aiden, our Emerald Pavilion has always stayed out of your business. What are you planning to do now with this approach? But clearly Aiden had no intention of wasting words with him. Those who are unwilling to go to Emerald Pavilion can come out. Later he shot and shattered the lock on the cage's door. At this point, a woman spoke up. "Can you offer me a job? They've blacklisted me from all companies in order to force me into the Emerald Pavilion." Aiden looked at her with a hint of compassion and asked, "Would you be willing to be my prison guard?" As soon as the words fell, the woman dragged her wearied body out of the cage. Then she knelt down in front of Aiden. "I am willing to serve the adult like a loyal dog or horse. And this person is Flanda. She is the Vice Warden who is loyal to Aiden, dedicated, and willing to work tirelessly. You should know that Flanda is the chief maid of the Maid Academy. With her professional abilities, she can assist the Emperor in handling court affairs. However, due to a decline in her family's fortunes and being framed by villains, she ended up in City Silver. I tried my best to make her my deputy at Emerald Pavilion, but unexpectedly Mr. Aiden intercepted it. Do you also want an explanation from me? My dear Mr. Aiden. Warden Aiden has actually reached a reconciliation with Oscar's son. Indeed, there is actually another hidden story behind the riot at Rose Prison. When Oscar's son revealed that Aiden saved Flanda 3 months ago, Aiden fell silent. After all, no matter how you look at it, he was in the wrong first. After a moment, he spoke. "I was just joking with you. It was indeed my fault to take Flanda away. But you should know that the cells in Rose Prison are already full. Securing the budget approval is also difficult. I came here this time to ask if you, sir, have any business needs. For example, a little favor at Rose Prison. As long as the sincerity is there, we can discuss it." Upon hearing this, Oscar's son couldn't help but ask back, "Lord Aiden, please forgive my bluntness. Although withholding funds was approved by me. But from what I know, you've made quite a profit on the side using the prison. Since the government has tacitly approved of your business, you should at least help shoulder some of the economic pressure for the government. Don't be too greedy as a person." This sentence left Aiden momentarily confused. You are overestimating the prison winemaking project. The money from it is only enough for emergencies. Oscar's son, the final boss, lost his patience. Do you have to beat around the bush, Mr. Aiden? I'm talking about the gray industry you're involved in with the border prosecutor. This sentence further puzzled Aiden. What do you mean by that again? What are the gray industry and the border prosecutor? His performance momentarily made Oscar's son uncertain. Aiden didn't seem like he was pretending. What are you even talking about? I have no idea about the situation at all. After a moment of silence, Oscar's son slowly spoke. Have you been honestly relying on a fixed salary all this time, without any business income? Have you endured the pressure of resigning as a prison warden and the deduction of funds, and forcefully survived the riot at Rose Prison? Aiden replied coldly with a simple, "What if not?" Oscar's son instantly exploded in anger after receiving the answer. He went to room 251 to bring the darn prosecutor over. A man who didn't even have time to put on his pants was brought over a moment later. He was none other than the so-called border prosecutor Jaden. Upon seeing him, Oscar's son said with a dark expression, "You are making a fortune in the gray industry, aren't you? You're using the excuse of Rose Prison being fully occupied. You're demanding sky-high fees for the heresy monsters prisoners brought in from overseas. You dare to ask for 1,000 gold even for the lowest-ranked prisoner, using the reputation and land of the prison as leverage. But after making money, you bypass the owner of the prison. Isn't your behavior a bit too ugly?" At this moment, Jaden is completely panicked, mainly because Lord Aiden has always been jealous and hostile to evildoers. We are worried that he may not agree to this matter. Before he could finish speaking, Oscar's son kicked him in the face. I didn't expect you to be shameless to this extent, to the point where I overestimated the operation of Rose Prison. Do you know that City Silver was almost completely ruined because of you? After speaking, he gestured towards the side. His men immediately understood and handed him a gun. Since you have the courage to take so much money, I assume you are prepared to face the consequences. At that moment, Aiden interrupted him. Let the person involved handle this matter. Most of my prison guards were killed in this riot. Regardless of whether it is used for treatment or rewards, the prison needs to spend money. So I do not care if the money is dirty or not. As long as the compensation is appropriate, I can spare his life." Upon hearing this, Jaden instantly crawled up to him. "Master Aiden, as long as you are willing to spare me, I will immediately raise money to send it to you." At this point, Oscar's son had to agree to spare his life. "Since Master Aiden has said so, I will give you half a day to raise the money. But you should know that you are buying your own life with this money. If it's too little, don't blame me." He then left this place. And Aiden has had one question all along. That is, why does this gray industry exist? The people are all crazily rejecting the heresy monster. In this situation, shouldn't the heresy monster be caught and executed directly in accordance with public opinion? But why spend a lot of money to send the heresy monster prisoner to Rose Prison when they know they are going to be executed? In the face of his question, Oscar's son raised a question. "Do you know what Dragon's Back Empire was founded on?" They were founded on a covenant where various ethnic groups united and pledged their blood as an alliance. Back then, they relied on the unity of all beings full of hope. Only by defeating the evil god's army from the forbidden area at the Dragon's Back Fortress did they establish the covenant. So the covenant is the motto and flag of the Dragon's Back Empire's founding. It is the source of legitimacy for our country. If the flag falls, the legitimacy of the monarchy will no longer exist. Therefore, if you want to be involved in politics in the Dragon's Back Empire, you must support the founding flag. When catching a heresy monster prisoner, you must proudly send them to the most authoritative prison. This is to show your loyalty to the royal family. But on the other hand, the votes for the congressman are in the hands of the people. Want to find the cheapest way to get the people to vote for you. Of course, they have to establish a common enemy, which is the so-called heresy monster. Creating a persona of being the savior is undoubtedly the lowest cost approach. After listening, Aiden raised another question. "So, if you want to enter politics, you have to protect the heresy monster while opposing the heresy monster. Don't you think this is a bit abstract?" Upon hearing this, Oscar's son couldn't help but smile. Once you realize the other party's purpose, you won't find it abstract anymore. After this statement, the negotiations between the two parties today also came to an end. Before leaving, Oscar's son asked one last question. "Are we considered reconciled now?" "Of course. You are very different from the nobility I imagined." Upon hearing this, Oscar's son chuckled. "I have survived until now relying on survival strategies. If you want to enter the political arena in the future, you must also plan your strategies well." Upon hearing this, Aiden nodded solemnly. The scene returned to Rose Prison, where Maddie was very angry because a group of people were constantly mocking her. If George hadn't intervened to stop the snake witch just now, Maddie's reputation might not have been preserved. But the premise of George's intervention was her dinner tonight. At that time, the group of people were still constantly mocking Maddie. "Do you still want to help Succubus take down Aiden? You almost became someone else's prey." Our Succubus is also very anxious. She has already regretted worshipping Maddie as her master, because she always feels a little dangerous behind her. But at this moment, asking Maddie to give up is like killing her. This is no longer a matter of money, but a challenge to her profession. So she angrily yelled, "Wait until I take down Aiden for Succubus, then I will come back to seek revenge on you." And that's how the Prison Matchmaker Civil War Succubus Fox team was officially formed. Warden Aiden was completely enraged. He didn't expect that he would be unable to kill the Ant Queen with his own hands. You should know that the Ant Queen single-handedly turned the entire Rose Prison upside down. After Aiden and Oscar's son finished their conversation, he hurried back to the prison without stopping. After all, the prison had just experienced a riot. As the ringleader, Aiden naturally couldn't be away for too long. But just as he was about to dismount, two figures ran over. The newcomers are Maddie and Succubus Aiden. "You should go take a look in the field, Lord. We only planted potatoes a couple of days ago, but today we unexpectedly have a bountiful harvest." Aiden expressed disbelief, saying, "How is this possible?" Succubus, drooling, said, "Aiden, my lord, why don't we go together and see for ourselves?" Fortunately, Maddie on the side held her back. "This will alert him if you act like this. The key now is not to go see potatoes with him, but to make sure he doesn't see Werewolf. Use your head and think about it carefully. Werewolf was so badly injured in the riot. The prison is stable now. Aiden will definitely find time to visit her. When the two of them, a single man and a single woman, get together, discussing responsibilities and checking on injuries, who knows if they might do something inappropriate. So we need to take the initiative now. Keep Aiden tied up with all sorts of trivial matters. This way, it won't leave any opportunity for the werewolf." The scene shifts to Flanda. She casually pulled out a fully matured potato. The potato we planted just yesterday unexpectedly matured overnight. But the land seemed to have been drained of all its nutrients. I remember the aristocrat who brought in Gilala once said that if there are signs of plant growth and land cracking in the prison, contact him immediately to arrange for Jalala's release. As soon as the words fell, Aiden cast his gaze toward the nearby small potatoes. This frightened Gilala. She quickly pointed to the prisoner next to her and said, "Section leader has been watching you for a while. Stop slacking off and get to work." At this moment, Aiden spoke up. "Have there been any strange occurrences in the prison? Weren't these potatoes planted a few months ago?" Upon hearing this, Flanda understood immediately. "I see, Your Excellency Aiden. I will go and instruct the prison guards and inmates to turn back now." Aiden was about to inquire about the werewolf's condition when Maddie ran up from behind. "Oh no, Your Excellency Aiden. I just heard arguing coming from the interrogation room." It seems that the Ant Queen is unwilling to cooperate with the 4-district chief for interrogation. Upon hearing this, Aiden immediately put aside the matter of the werewolf. This also helped Maddie achieve her goal. A moment later, Aiden arrived at the interrogation room of the prison. According to what 4-district chief said, no matter what questions she asked the Ant Queen, she always has a sour face regardless. Aiden doesn't spoil her at all, looking at Ant Queen like this. Don't waste time. Write down all the criminal facts she can write. Hurry up and send her to the gallows. Ant Queen panicked at the words. I object. How dare a small place like City Silver judge me? As an important prisoner like me, I must be judged by the heretical Judgment Bureau of Dragon's Back Empire. Aiden ignored her shameless remarks. I feel uncomfortable even for an extra day, you, a demon who preys on innocent children. So I won't give this matter any chance to cause further trouble. Speaking of which, Aiden's emotions were a bit agitated for a moment. Ignore her nonsense. Notify the Dragon's Back Empire after she dies. Seeing him like this, the Ant Queen became even more panicked. Don't forget, I still have a lot of children outside. They have already spread the news of my detention by Rose Prison in the Dragon's Back Empire. I am a notorious villain who keeps the people on edge. If I do not die under the judgment of the Empire, the entire City Silver will be punished. Because the Emperor and the noble families of the Dragon's Back Empire all want to personally orchestrate the execution ceremony for me in order to win the people's favor. So if you dare to kill me secretly, you would be stealing the Emperor's merit. You will definitely not get away with it. After saying all this, the Ant Queen was already panting heavily. At this time, 4-district chief spoke up. As far as I know, the Dragon's Back Empire is currently in a period of royal power turmoil. So, all factions need the support of the people. If we privately execute Ant Queen, it could indeed offend others easily. At this moment, Aiden fell silent. He knew that the consequences would be unimaginable once Ant Queen left the prison. At this moment, Ant Queen spoke again. Lord Aiden, just let the Dragon's Back Empire judge me. After all, I'm already doomed. And I can also help you deal with the problems left by the prison. For example, those prisoners who have been injected with drugs. If I don't handle it afterward, what will happen if those prisoners become mentally unstable in the future? And Kim, I can also help you with her treatment. Don't you want her to go to school? As long as I remove the weapons in her body and replace the toxic blood in her body, then she will be just a normal child, right? Upon hearing this, Aiden's face started to darken more and more. He suddenly spoke to the guard behind him and said, "Go get action. Have her supervise the Ant Queen in treating the prisoners. As for the 4-district chief, write a letter and hand it over to the Dragon's Back Empire." Upon hearing this, she immediately picked up the pen and started writing. To the Empire Heretical Judgment Bureau, our agency has arrested a woman with the code name Ant Queen. Aiden, seeing this, flew into a rage. Who told you to use polite language? Next, I'll dictate and you'll write. Just say we caught the heinous beast and won't let go of the 10 offenses. Also, don't write about sending her to Empire for judgment. Instead, suggest executing the beast on the spot. The Ant Queen on the side feels helpless. Even if you want to scold, please don't do it in front of me. After dealing with it, Aiden walked out of the courtroom. As expected, Maddie appeared again at a critical moment. Aiden is in trouble again. I don't know if you have any impression of the Corpse Witch. Although she can only exist for 3 months before fading away, her abilities will become stronger and stronger before disappearing completely. At present, she only has 10 days left. The magic suppressing collar is also gradually unable to suppress her. The scene shifts to cell 96. The Corpse Witch sticks out her tongue and says, "Camilla, soon you will pay with your life for my son." Junior Dragon Woman, who lives in the cell across from her, glares coldly at her. "Hurry up and die," she says. Warden Aiden has officially launched the layout of the City Silver. And the key part of his plan turns out to be the 1,000 inmates of Rose Prison. Let's focus the camera on Corpse Witch first. She is constantly disrespecting her neighbor, Junior Dragon Woman. Meanwhile, Warden Aiden also arrived with the escort of the prison guards. At this moment, Corpse Witch's emotions were clearly getting out of control. "Camilla, I will definitely kill you," she said. But at that moment, a figure suddenly appeared. "What are you doing?" "This is a prison. If you don't control yourself, I will have to let you die again." Upon seeing Aiden, the Corpse Witch quickly shouted, "Aiden, since you can help prisoners clear their names, why can't you show mercy to a child's mother?" "Camilla killed my 15-year-old son, but the court only sentenced her to 3 years. Even though I have become the Corpse Witch now, I don't want to provoke anyone. I just want her to pay for her crime of killing someone." Aiden actually has some understanding of the Corpse Witch case. Junior Dragon Woman, who comes from a poor background, committed a murder. Surprisingly, she was only sentenced to 3 years by the court. There must be the shadow of the City Silver aristocrats behind this. Aiden spoke up. "When I have time, I will figure out your entanglements. But let the living handle this matter for now. Go call Necromancer Asina to come and perform the last rites for the deceased." Asina rushed over from the library a moment later, but she did not want to get involved in this matter. Aiden found this very strange. When did you become a good person? And is it really good to leave the dead in the world of the living? The world of the deceased and reality should indeed not be confused. However, this lady sacrificed herself, followed the path of reincarnation, and became a Corpse Witch to seek revenge. I also do not want to intervene too much due to professional ethics. The so-called the path of reincarnation is actually the process of being reincarnated after death. In a sense, the individual's consciousness and will are eternal. But this lady gave up the path of reincarnation. Once it disappears, all traces will be lost. Upon hearing this, Aiden's expression turned cold as he spoke indifferently. Since she chose this path herself, all I can do is let her disappear without pain. Asina sighed helplessly. You are willing to call humans, who kill countless people, generals, but you want to exterminate a corpse witch who is only seeking revenge. Anyway, I'm not willing to do such wicked things. Don't you have the doll that stores her resentment? If you are willing, you can burn it. Just then, Flanda ran over. Master Aiden, something is not right.